Mahamudra is an interesting thing. I think a lot of people have heard the term and they think it's some kind of super sexy, super esoteric meditation, but it is actually a way of talking about one of the principal ideas of at least Buddhism, although it shows up in yoga texts as well, this idea of shunyata. Shunyata means emptiness. And why would they say, so what does emptiness have to do with Mahamudra? Mahamudra means the great seal. Well, shunyata is everywhere. This idea of the inherent absence of self-existence to things. It is in all things, and so it is the great seal that marks all of our reality. This absence of self-existence is what makes spiritual practice possible. It's what makes the various realizations of most spiritual paths a thing, like understanding how the world is appearing to you, not whether or not it's appearing to you. That's not the point. It's not about nihilism, but how is the world appearing to you is one of the great debates in most of these Eastern traditions. And Mahamudra was a specific set of meditations that you would do to very directly try to experience the nature of reality, namely the absence of self-existence to things. So when somebody starts talking to you about Mahamudra, usually they're talking about meditation. What kind of meditation? Starts with something analytic, usually like, where is the self? Am I in my body? Am I in my mind? And then there's a whole bunch of logical syllogisms you can use on yourself in meditation to try to find that thing. But then Mahamudra is this organized way of approaching that object. Namely, you start with easier forms of how things don't exist. Namely, you start with something like, are things permanent? Are things unchanging? And you meditate on that for a while. Then you would go on to something like, are there any coincidences? Are qualities inherent in things? And so on and so forth. And you go up this scale trying to eventually find, is there anything at all that has any self-existence? And Mahamudra is basically a series of meditations, of analytical thoughts that you apply to this philosophical idea in your own practice in the hopes of realizing these high philosophical ideas in these traditions.
But it's also an energetic practice. So in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Mahamudra is also a mudra. It's a posture you can take with your body, and it's a posture that brings your energy into a place where it can have those direct realizations. And so in our workshop, which is coming up in the intensive, we're going to be introducing both of them simultaneously. The actual practices from the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, along with the meditations, so that you get, through a very, very contained lens, not just the practice of Mahamudra, but a very beautiful taste of how the mind and the body work together to generate a specific kind of experience.